Hey, what's up? It's your girl Nique, and you're tuned in to Nique at Night. And tonight we're going to be talking about how Dwight Howard had both of his exes, one was an alleged ex and one was an actual ex, in their feelings about his new boo. Now, Dwight Howard is a basketball player on the Lakers, and he has this new boo who is also a basketball player, but she's a basketball player in the WNBA. She's also significantly younger than him, but she's a very pretty and beautiful girl. And she had his exes feeling away. One is an alleged ex and one is an actual ex, which is his baby mama, Royce Reed. Now, Royce Reed was on one of the first seasons. I believe she was like one of the OGs to the Basketball Wives franchise. I believe she used to be like a cheerleader. And from her being a cheerleader, she had a relationship with Dwight Howard. They had a child. And their relationship has kind of really been rocky. I believe like at the time that she was on the show, he had got it like a clause to where she couldn't say his name. It was basically a gag order, but he sued her after that. It was just a whole lot that I'm going to break down later because y'all really got Royce messed up when y'all be trying to say she bitter when she got every right to be bitter. And I'm going to lay it all out later. But let me get back to what she said now. It's just been a whole big old rocky, beginnings between her and Dwight from my knowledge. Now, the alleged ex is a guy who had came forward before and alleged that him and Dwight had a relationship together. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but I covered it on my channel. There was a guy who came forward and, I guess he identifies as a guy, but he wears like wigs and weaves and stuff like that. And he had came forward and he had alleged that he had been sleeping with Dwight. He had played recordings that was allegedly supposed to be Dwight on the recordings and showed interaction where he alleged there was a relationship between the two. Now, he also felt some type of way about Dwight's new boo, and I'm going to break it all down for y'all in this video. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so here is how everything got started. So, as I stated, Dwight Howard is on the Lakers, and the Lakers just won the championship of the NBA Finals. So, as a celebration of them winning and him being on the team and him celebrating and him being happy, he had went live and he was like turning up and he went live. And while he went live, he accidentally showed a text message that was between him and his current girlfriend. I'm just going to assume, since I only get a certain amount of text that shows, I'm going to assume that somebody said something about him to her. Like somebody told her some info about him and she is trying to figure out and get to the bottom of like what is this? Like what is being said? Like what are they telling me about it? So she says, "So tell me." And then he says, I'm assuming it says probably show me, because he says show me again down below. And then she says, must be true. And then he's like, show me. And so she puts up an emoji like, and then so he replies and he says, "You coming at me about something I don't even know." And then she like, turn up, have fun. And then he's like, what friends? Like, so I don't know if somebody accused him of messing with some friends or what happened. But while he was on live, this is the text that showed. When this was shown or whatever, people, I guess, they did they hurry up and quick and screenshot to see that she coming at him about something, somebody that told her some info she got. She coming at him trying to figure out what's tea, And so to that, Royce had responded and she said, "Damn, imagine it being one of the happiest days of your life and someone who's supposed to be your sanity and celebrate with you comes at you with some childish drama for all the world to see. How embarrassing." And then she says, "You knew what you signed back up for." So basically, she like, girl, you know he for the streets. So which like, you know, you might as well celebrate. So which like, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a celebratory moment. And you over here checking him about some drama that somebody done told you. Like, you know this nigga for the streets. You know what you signed up for. So, that was that. So then everybody start coming down Royce's throat because they like, okay, well, why you in their business? Why you worried about, you know, was she texting him? Why you worried about it? Y'all not together. You not dealing with him. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Why you care? Why you mad? So Royce was like, okay, well, I'm about to tell y'all why I'm mad. Like, y'all coming at me acting like, you know what I'm saying, I don't got no place to feel no ways. And I'm going to tell you why I'm really mad. So Royce had posted up a post and she said, okay, so we're doing this. Imagine wanting and praying this moment makes not being in your child's life worth it. Imagine hoping this dream is everything he imagined it would be and that he would change his priorities around. Then imagine your child crying, wondering why his own father is in his same city but won't call, text, visit, or send a note by pigeon. Imagine your child wanting to change his name. Imagine your child feeling like he's not worth it and that he's unloved no matter how much he tries to force it. Then imagine yourself trying to be the bigger person and telling your child to love, pray, and be proud regardless and forgive. Telling him it's part of his own legacy. Making sure he makes a post congratulating him even if he didn't want to. Lastly, imagine having the proudest and hardest fought moment of your life be interrupted at the height of your joy by a rumor you don't know if it's true or not. That is wrong. I don't care if you saw video proof. You do not ruin something this memorable. Hell, if you all that went down during quarantine, y'all better stop praising people based off of a screenshot of their lives on TV and Instagram posts. Better yet, imagine having to text a third party to try and find out if this person plans on seeing their 2 kids that live here and that they haven't seen since July or spoken to since August before they leave the city. And the response is, I don't know. I gotta see what the team doing. A multimillionaire who can catch any flight with a choice to spend a couple hours with children who want to think he's their own personal Superman. A child who really needs him right now. But I hold this little boy at night through tears and anger. I comfort him. I raise him with love, not through money. So anyone who has an issue with that F y'all, straight up. Braylon will always cause my lioness to come out, period. So basically, in summary, what I got from that is, even though I don't F with the nigga, he ain't shit. He ain't here for the kids. He ain't making them a priority. I myself, even with the ill will that I have for him being a deadbeat and not stepping up, I know how memorable that moment was for them to win the championship, and I wouldn't even try to sour that moment. So basically, she feels like, even like, I got all the funk for him in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? He not here for my baby. My baby is sitting here crying at night. And I feel like, shit, if I'm woman enough to not ruin that moment and know that this is a memorable moment, a girlfriend should know, like, this ain't the time to be bringing drama to him or whatever, like, in that moment. That's pretty much what she's saying in summary for those of y'all who don't really get what she's saying. She's saying, I'm sitting here struggling with my son, feeling like he's not accepted by his dad, but I'm woman enough to know how much that moment meant to him. So I was woman enough to be like, listen, son, you know, even pushing my son to reach out and congratulate his father. So she felt like it was wrong for the girlfriend to be doing such a memorable moment. Now, after this was said, there was a lot of people who was saying, oh, she just mad she not with him. Oh, she bitter she wasn't in a bubble, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm hearing from reports that he had one of his other kids in the bubble, so he damn for sure could have had that one in there as well. I'm going to share with y'all the other alleged ex and how the other alleged ex responded to him and the girlfriend situation. And then I'm going to break down why I think y'all are even crazy for calling her bitter. Like, and if y'all are calling her bitter, I feel like she has every right to be. But I'm going to break that down a little later. Okay, now that brings me to the ex-alleged, the alleged ex, or the whatever. Y'all get my drift. Anyway, so like I said, there was this guy who came forward at one time who alleged that him and Dwight had this relationship. He had put up a post and he was taking shots at Dwight's girlfriend as well. He said, "You gotta be a real childish bee to stress a nigga out during the most happiest time of his life. Young dizzy bees are the worst." And so he was taking shots at the girlfriend text message that showed of her questioning him about something. Somebody done told her something and he trying to get her to show him or whatever about it. You know, if you guys don't remember this guy who had came forward, I'm going to give y'all a flashback of when I covered it. I'm going to give y'all a quick little snippet of when this guy had came forward and alleged that he had a situation with Dwight.
I'm not going to go into detail about how I know Dwight Howard because I just feel like my point was never to expose him or to prove that I knew him or prove that we did anything. You know, that was never really the point. You feel what I'm saying? The point has always been that I was sexually harassed, threatened, yelled homophobic slurs at, because I get in a wig, and this is not a fucking wig. The only thing I wanted was a relationship at that time. When it went left, I said, now lean back. Now lean back. I'm not transgender. You know, I have hair. I have real hair. Yes, I wear weave, you know, and stuff like that or whatever. But, you know, I'm not transgender at all. So a lot of transgender people were reaching out to me like, yo, can you please confirm that or let people know? Because, you know, it's like a label. Just because you see somebody with hair, they're transgender. I'm not transgender.
So his first tweet says, "I was afraid to speak, but today my life was threatened after ex-boyfriend, NBA player Dwight Howard and his camp also catfished by his disrespectful pastor." So this is his words. These are his words saying that, you know, Dwight was his ex-boyfriend. "I met Dwight a while back at Wildin' Out to be exact. We made eye contact, and a week later, he was in my DMs. I'm used to dealing with celebrities, so I automatically told him, hit me from his Finsta." Fake page. So our conversation wouldn't get leaked. I mean, he is a legend. Conversation started, escalating to nudes being sent, escalated to me blowing his mind and him calling me every night on Instagram video chat. Time went by and ish started getting serious. He was fine, 6'11", goofy, very charming, no wife and never been married. So of course I was interested. I kept it real with him and he kept it real with me about everything except one thing. Fast forward, I'm finally face to face with Dwight, and after that day, from my understanding, we had an understanding. So I'll just upload the screen record here just in case his team decides to lie. Ain't no girl gonna ask you this. So I guess according to him, he talked to the team and the team allegedly said that they were going to say that Dwight thought it was a girl. So this was his proof that their interaction wasn't the interaction of one with a female, and because a female would not care about if he was into trans or even assume that he was into trans or gays or anything like that. So this is the receipts that he provided to show. A lot of people assumed that these were fake DMs. And so he then further tried to prove that this was in fact a real DM.
Put it out, guys. The DM is definitely real. It's not fake. It's not photoshopped. I don't not know how to Photoshop anything. Neither here or there. That was never my point. I never wanted to prove that I knew Dwight. I just wanted to prove that his pastor is definitely harassing and sexually harassing me on Dwight's behalf, and Dwight is not doing anything about it besides sitting there laughing, thinking that the situation is funny. I reached out to him many times, and that was basically that. The DM is not fake. It's definitely real. I mean, what's next?
So So then he decided to uncover phone conversations, and he's like, fast forward, he's in season and I was unable to travel to every game, but every night he called me and pretty much same old same. So this is a voice recording of their conversation and their interaction.
I want to build the consistency of normalcy. You know what I mean? Not talking about other people, not getting into all that other stuff. You know, not. You don't have to feel threatened. Like, first of all, I'm not going to jeopardize my life, my career, and everything that I work for. But I do have people that I love genuinely that depend on me, that I'm going to have to take care of in life. So, you know, regardless of what hailstorm that I ever have to face, like, there's some things that you don't compromise your integrity of just doing the right thing, even when other people don't. That's just, you know, so I say all that to say that, you know, you don't have a reason to be feeling like is your life in jeopardy, you know, talking to me. And vice versa. I don't want to feel like that.
I don't know what Dwight Howard sounds like, so I can't say if that's actually him on the tape. But according to Mason, that's Dwight. So then he says, so I find out that he is basically sleeping with someone else. And here's how that went. So this is another voice recording of that interaction.
Close-minded people, everybody has free will and free liberty to be who they are. You know, and people that oppose against that, you know, that's their issues, and they have to deal with.
But that's not what I'm saying, Dwight. And you know that's not what I'm saying. Okay, you're trying to.
But what I'm saying is that no. But what I'm saying is that you're asking me a question to be very transparent and vulnerable with you. But that goes back to trust too. Like I want to be able to trust you without it being a hostile environment or an issue between me and you. Like before all this other stuff came into play, I definitely didn't feel that way. But now, you know, like I'm rocking. So it's like I don't know what's what. You know, so I think that the same way that you're saying, like, okay, you're confused, I am too. So it's like, you know, I just want to.
I didn't record anybody from the beginning. I began to record when something was said to me. And I'm not going to tell you what was said, but something very crazy was said. And it made me very leery. And I was like, you know what? I got to definitely have my back. Because I'm not going, you know. And look, I'm accused of extortion. Accused of extortion. So if I didn't have my record that I have, the many hours of them, then what? I would have been labeled on the internet as a clout chaser, a faggot in a wig, that's chasing and stalking athletes. I'm trying to extort for money. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I would have been being dragged, you know? So like I said, I'm not going to get into the detail. I just wanted to really speak about Exhibit 1 live. Because I told you guys on Twitter, every time something is said, I'm going to come back with the proof, and we're going to shut that shit the fuck down.
Okay, so that's Mason, who also was his alleged ex. Now, that was, it seemed like a lot, but that was just a small clip of a large video that I broke down. Mason has so many receipts, so many recordings, so many different things that he exposed about Dwight. And then after that, later, Dwight tried to sue Mason for $10 million. And I mean, you know, obviously, I don't know what happened with that. I know Mason don't got 10 mil, but let's move on to how y'all got Royce effed up. Now, that was how both of his exes felt, and that's how both of them felt towards his new boo trying to come at him for the championship. Now, let me speak to the people who I feel like keep calling Royce bitter, when I feel like if she bitter, oh well, she got every right to be bitter. Now, let me give you guys a breakdown and a backstory, since some of y'all may not have been up to speed or realizing what happened. So Royce has a baby with Dwight. They have a baby together. Then there was this show called Basketball Wives. And, you know, basically there is some people on the show that are wives, and then some people on the show who are girlfriends and baby mamas. And she was one of the baby mamas. When she was seeked out to be on the show, he tried to he actually was effective in getting a gag order on her to where she could not mention his name or say that she was his baby mama, mention him in no type of way at all. He put a huge clause on her and a gag order on her that she could not spill the beans on how much of a piece of ish he was. Now, after the show wrapped, the gag order was still in place. And while that happened after the show wrapped, they were going through a very nasty child custody and visitation, fight. So it was just very nasty, and Royce felt like there was bias in the judge. The judge was letting him do a lot of stuff that he should not have been able to get away with, and she wanted the judge to recuse himself, and she wanted to be able to speak to the media about the wrong that she felt was being done to her because of his celebrity status. And because of that, she actually did, in fact, leak a couple things that was going on in her custody battle to the press. So because she leaked out some of the stuff that was going on in her custody battle to the press, Dwight Howard wanted to sue her for $500,000,000 and $500,000, like no cap. He wanted to sue his baby mama, and he's a multimillionaire, wanted to sue her for $500 million. He also wanted to sue Mason, the one who I just showed y'all, for $10 million when Mason spoke on him. But anyways, let's talk about Royce. So he wanted to sue her for $500 million, took her to court for that, and he was awarded $535,000. Now, I don't believe that she had it, and she didn't pay him $535,000 because she didn't have it. So because of that, he wanted to be petty. So when he did not receive his $535,000, which he knew that she didn't have, he then wanted to garnish her wages, and he was successful in suing her and garnishing her wages, and he wanted every single dollar that she had to her name turned over to him. Now, he wanted to garnish her bank accounts. He cleared out all of her money, and he wanted every single dollar that she had forked over to him. Now, mind you, this is the mother of his child. Now, maybe she should not have spoke to the press and said what was going on in their custody battle, but does that really warrant, and would a real nigga really make his baby mama suffer to that magnitude to where you're gonna then go so low to take money out of your own child's mouth? You're going to be so petty to the point where she's talking about y'all custody battle to where you feel like, you're going to sue her for $535,000, and then you're going to garnish every single dollar that she has and then take money out of your own child's mouth. If your answer to that is yeah, you a bitch ass nigga just like him. And when I see Royce shading him and people calling her bitter, I feel like she got every right to be bitter, because when you go through custody battles, and there is a lot of people with deadbeat dads, so they don't know what it's like to go through a custody battle. When you go through a custody battle, you know how devious these niggas could be, you know how grimy they could be, and you realize how fucked up a situation certain situations can be. Now, me, I've never lost custody of my child, but I still know firsthand going through the courts how grimy certain situations can be, and how these judges will allow certain things that they should not be allowing. But as a parent, you chalk it up and you say, hey, let me just do my obligation. You go to your daddy on the weekend, here, go, and you keep what your feelings are tucked, because you know what the end goal is, and the end goal is the best interest of your child. Now, when it comes to Royce's situation, sometimes you kind of want to express what is happening, because a lot of people don't know how these court proceedings be. They don't know what be happening. So she kind of wanted to let it out like, no, y'all don't understand what's happening. You know what I'm saying? She felt like she was done wrong in a custody battle, so she wanted to speak out. I don't care about a gag order or not. I feel like certain actions speak to a person's character. Not only did he hit her pockets, bring her balances to a zero, and sue her for $535,000 and empty out her bank accounts and garnish her wages, on top of that, he had the nerve to not even show up as a father. Now, she has complained several times about him being a deadbeat, and she is not the only baby mama that has complained of such. Dwight Howard has 5 kids by different baby mamas, and his other baby mamas have also complained to the media about him being a deadbeat dad. So when Royce spoke out this time, and she spoke out about saying, you know, listen, he's a piece of shit. Like, he makes excuses for not showing up for his children, but even in the moment of his victory, I did not feel like that was the time for his girlfriend to be ragging on him. I understood where she was coming from. Like, even though I don't fuck with you, I didn't feel like that was right time. But then when people came for her, she felt like, okay, well, since y'all coming for me, this is what you must know. And she still didn't break it down, because when people call her bitter and they try to act like, oh, she's just mad because she can't be with him. No, like, I know. I don't care how much money he has. That's a bitch ass nigga in my eyes. And y'all be praising people just because they have a basketball talent or they have a little bit of money in their bank. I would never, like, I don't care. Like, I would never, like, if I have a homeboy, if I have a cousin, if I have a brother, if I have an uncle, I would never condone them to take money from their baby mama to a zero balance because she discussed their custody battle. I would be like, listen, I know that you probably don't like what she said, but, you know, maybe, you know, just, you know, do something. I mean, I'm not saying that he should not have done nothing, but I feel like the extreme that he went was too far. Now, I feel like he could have fought back in some way, but the extreme that he went, that was a bitch ass move. And being that other baby mamas have also called him out for being a deadbeat as well. And the fact that this has come up time and time and time again by different entities and by Royce on several different occasions over several different years, I mean, it might be something that needs to be looked into, and maybe you guys need to hear her side. I don't know. Sorry for the rant, but I just hate when people label women who express men being a deadbeat as bitter, when there may be, maybe she is bitter, but like when there is valid reasons for her to feel how she feels. I don't like when people equate that to, oh, well, she just mad that he not with her. No, maybe she's mad that a person can be so low to take food out of their own child's mouth. Maybe that could be it. Can we think about that? I don't know. I just don't like when people also eliminate responsibility from millionaires. Just like in the Carmelo Anthony situation, people are like, well, the baby mama knew he was married when she opened her legs. Well, he knew that he was married when he started secreting and shooting up in her raw. He knew he was married too. So that don't give him the right to not be there for that child. I hate when people give people excuses because they got money, give them excuses to be a deadbeat. You knew the consequences of having raw sex. You knew the consequences, just like she knew you was married, just like you knew what happened when you have raw sex, just like you got a kid with your wife. You knew that when you was going up in her raw, you knew what happened. I just hate when people give these celebrities excuses for being a deadbeat. It just really blows my mind. But that's all I have. Sorry for my rant.
All right, guys, that's all for this video. Stay tuned for more celebrity news and gossip. But in order to do that, you know you got to hit that subscribe button. You know you got to turn on them notifications so you're notified when I post a video. And you have to also visit my website. Like, it's like a must. Like, you have to visit my website by going down to the description box, clicking on my website, and finding out where I am other places on social media. I mean, I know I'm asking for a lot, but hey, a girl has demands. Like the video, share the video, go to my website, check it out, and leave a comment down below. I mean, is it too much to ask? Probably is a lot to ask, but I'm still going to ask it because a closed mouth don't get fed, okay? I was raised, a closed mouths don't get fed, so I'm going to ask those things of you. Now, if you do it or not, that's up to you, but I asked, okay?
All right, y'all. That's it. I'll catch you guys on the next one. What you think about the ex Royce and the alleged ex Mason? Let's talk about it. Peace.